In this video, I want to share one of the most powerful frameworks I know that I first learned in sales, but now apply to almost every area of my life. Feel, felt, found. Now, this framework started off in sales and I didn't create it. It's been around for a long time. But what I've realized is you can apply this framework to many different situations inside and outside of business, not just on sales, but actually when you're working with your team, when you're working with clients, when you're coaching people, when you're actually getting people to agree with and align with you on a decision, on a direction, right? Maybe even in relationships or with friends, you can use this framework, feel, felt, found, to get people to start following along with your way of thinking and have them agree with you when maybe they might not agree originally. Now, this originally came as a sales framework that was used to objection handle people that say no, or they might have a specific objection that you want to overcome. And the way this works is you create a conversation around it, right? So if somebody has an objection, let's say about investing in this particular program, you say, hey, I understand how you feel. I felt that before when I, first invested in my first program to lose weight. I also wasn't sure, is this going to work? Am I actually going to lose the weight? Like, what if I'm not held accountable? Are you going to hold me accountable? But what I found is actually making that investment is the very thing that will make me be accountable. Because by making that investment, I was telling myself I'm in and I'm going to do it. So that's how you do it in the context of sales. That's maybe how you've learned it before. You go feel, felt, found. I understand how you feel. I felt that exact same way, but what I found is insert the way you want people to think. Now, here's the thing. You can actually start using this in all areas of your business. You can actually use this to coach your team, coach potential clients. You can actually use this with people that you're working with in everyday life. Recently, I had a team member that I've actually been training and a second level leader within our team. And they actually were asking me about delegating tasks. They kind of thought that they could do, everything themselves. And one of the challenges that they had is they said, hey, like if I just delegate these tasks, then they're not going to be done to the same quality as when I'm doing them. Now, this was the perfect opportunity for feel, felt, found. What I turned to them and said is I said, listen, I understand exactly how you feel, right? I felt the exact same way too. When I had to start delegating tasks, especially marketing tasks, right? It was challenging for me because I felt like I knew everything. I felt like I was the only person who was able to do it. It took me a long time to delegate, things like YouTube ads, for instance. I ran our own YouTube ads way longer than we needed to as a business because it was kind of challenging for me to delegate. But what I found was me stepping out of that role and actually leading someone to actually take on those tasks, to take on the tasks that I was doing, allowed me to see the bigger picture, allowed me to grow, allowed the business to grow, allowed, in your case, it will allow your department to grow. But what I really found was this actually allowed me to grow as a leader because it allowed me to train someone else to do the job. And then ultimately, because that's all they're doing every day, me being able to train them better than I had time to do. Maybe if I had unlimited time, I could do it better, but I don't. I need to focus higher level. I need to be a leader. So you can use that feel, felt, found framework. And then they agreed with me. They said, hey, that makes a lot of sense. And the reason this works is it approaches it from a way that you actually show that you understand how that person is feeling. I understand how you feel. You're acknowledging the way that they're feeling. Then you say, hey, I felt the exact same way, and make sure that you loop it back to a way that you felt before. But what I found is this, and that's the teaching. That is where you change their mind. You have to meet someone where they're at, tell them you've been there before, so now you're connected, and now you can walk them through the transformation that you had with what you found. feel, felt, found. So it's a great sales framework, it's a great coaching and business framework, but it also applies to all different areas. And I discovered this recently. I was having lunch with one of my former personal trainers that I had worked with, and now he's actually the coach of the weight coach of a Division I sports team at a college. And we were talking with him about leadership, and it was surprising the similarities between me leading a team. I've got about 50 people here at Outreach. I'm leading a pretty sizable team now. Obviously, there's a lot of growth that we have from here, but leading a team of 50 people and him, having a few teams. He coaches the swim team, track team, and tennis team. He's coaching teams, but on weightlifting. But these are not actually the standard things that some of these athletes are used to. Especially, he told me about the people on the swim team saying, hey, I don't know why I should be lifting weights, why I'm spending time on the weight room. I want to be spending more time in the water. And what he said was he was having trouble getting across to those swim team members that this is going to help them out. He was there before. He has a background in swimming, and see, he understands this is going to help them. So I walked him through this framework, and this is when it really clicked that this framework can apply to anything. So what I told him to go back and say, and what he ended up saying to that swim team, is he said this, and I understand how you feel. I felt the same way when I used to go swim, and I would want to spend as much time in the water as possible. I saw the time out of the water as not training. But what I found is that the time I spent in the weight room actually mattered more than my time in the water. Now, that doesn't mean spending more time. That means that I actually spend less time in the weight room, but that has a bigger impact than just spending an extra hour in the water. We're already spending so much time in the water. Spending an hour, right, in the weight room is gonna give me more impact than an extra hour in the water. That's what I found. And I started doing better and better. And so I told him to bring that back to his team. He was able to bring that back to his team. And you can change someone's mind like that. But here's the problem. If you just say, hey, no, you have to do, weights, or this is better for you, I know, then you're butting heads. Instead of saying, listen, let me come over here and say, hey, I understand how you feel. I felt that way too. But then I found out that this was really the case. And you can lead them where you want to go. That's the Feel, Felt, Found framework. And it can apply to any area of your life. Who knows? Maybe in a relationship too. If you're got a couple restaurants you're deciding between, maybe you use a little feel, felt, found action in there as well. I can't guarantee it'll work in that context, but this can work in almost every area of your life, every area of business, not just sales. It can actually work with your clients, with your team. It can also work outside of the world of business as well. So I recommend implementing this framework. It's amazing. Feel, felt, found. There's a lot of resources online, but most of them talk about sales. I'm here to tell you it's way more than a sales framework. This framework can work in all areas of your life to get people to start agreeing with the way that you're thinking. Feel, felt, found. Hopefully you found this video valuable. If you did, make sure you like the video, share it with your friend. Also, comment down below, have you used Feel, Felt, Found in any cool ways? Let me know. I'd love to read that down there below. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the notifications so that you get notified every time we have a new video here. And if you're interested in growing your business using the power of video marketing, whether it be through organic video or ads, all the links are down there below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.